Now, you spoke a little bit to the current impasse in the Senate. How has your experience in Congress thus far helped prepare you to be different, to be that change agent?
Well, not allowing, first of all, we have to reform filibuster rules in the Senate. One senator stops the whole show. One senator stops small business tax cuts from getting the small businesses throughout this country to incentivize the economy. One senator stops unemployment insurance, reaching those that are trying to live through this very rough period right now that we're experiencing. I look forward to reforming that process. I look forward to giving voice to those Floridians that are very, very concerned about about very little getting done out of the U.S. Senate. I think it's going to be helpful towards our future. I think that it's going to allow us to show not only Floridians but other states when you have a U.S. Senator that's willing to represent the people that sent him or her to the U.S. Senate, that you'll have a better process in the Senate. Frustration in the House as a public servant is it's at an all-time high right now, because when you pass good legislation and you see it die in the Senate, it's very frustrating, and that's the reason why I left a very safe House seat to run for the Senate.
So what would you say are your top 3 issues that, if elected to Senate, you would really champion?
I would champion incentivizing job creation here in the state of Florida through the following vehicles. 1, make sure that high-speed rail becomes a reality in Florida. 2, make sure that we move towards green initiatives and away from this whole argument of offshore oil drilling, because it's not going to create jobs. It just allows a platform for the special interests to continue to talk about drilling off of our coast that will affect our $63 billion tourism industry. And 3, making sure that we incentivize not only research and research institutions here in the state of Florida, but also private institutions of higher learning here in the state that will create the kind of innovation that we need to move forward. With those 3 components, working with local leaders, civic leaders, and ideas that are concrete ideas that will create jobs will be one of my #1 incentives. But making sure that tax cuts reach the middle class to give relief, because the middle class in this state has been hit real hard. And when you look at 11.7% unemployment, you look at people like Marco Rubio and Charlie Crist that represent tax cuts for special interests, companies that send jobs overseas. I want to put an end to that. And I think it's important that we incentivize companies to hire in America, hire our workforce, our future workforce, and to also allow the American dream to become, to even shine even brighter through through assisting young people who want to go into the business world to create jobs and opportunities.
Well, it seems that you definitely have a hold on, I think, an innovative future, an innovative vision for Florida's future. And now the only question is making sure we get all your supporters out to the polls. What are your thoughts, or what are you looking to do in the next few weeks to really just galvanize that Democratic base and bring back out, the people who helped push Barack Obama, over the tipping point back in 2008?
Well, in the last election, it was about changing the guard. This election is going to be about protecting the guard. When you look at what has happened in this country with the emergence of the Tea Party, with candidates that are saying that they're willing to stand up for ideology versus the needs of the people of the state, that should incentivize people. I mean, only Democrats can elect Marco Rubio. I mean, I always say that, because a vote for Charlie Crist is a vote for Marco Rubio. And in this state, I think it's very, very important to note that a lack of leadership has put us in the position to where we are now. A lot of folks look at Washington and say Washington is the problem. Well, Tallahassee is the problem too, and in other places like it throughout the state of Florida. So I'm looking forward to giving a strong, fresh voice in the United States Senate that will fight for jobs and opportunity, fight against the Tea Party, fight against those that are willing to just get emotional about the few and not the many. And that's the reason why we've been successful in the past, and that's the reason why we'll be successful in the future.
Well, Congressman, thank you so much for your time
Thank you so
today.
very much. Thank you.
You have our support, our
Thank you.
endorsement,
Thank
and we
you.
wish you
Thank
the
you.
best of luck.
Thank you, and we're encouraging everyone to get out to vote.